But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value.
But this attempt to intimidate doctors into silence had the opposite effect. My office was inundated with calls of concern. At the time, we began working very closely with multiple groups of doctors and other concerned medical professionals. These honest and hardworking doctors are fully galvanized against the regressive authoritarian overreach of the CPSO and other similar governing bodies. I'm going to share a couple of stories that have been shared with me from medical professionals and ordinary Canadians, and then the doctors here today will share their perspectives as well. The first note surrounds vaccination from an individual who can't share her name due to potential job repercussions. And her words to me are, Derek, I am a 30-year-old female citizen of Winnipeg who was recently pressured by healthcare workers and the media to take the COVID vaccine. I was told that the benefits outweigh the risks, but I now realize that I was never informed of any of the potential risks. 4 days after my first and only Pfizer dose, I was diagnosed with heart inflammation and fluid buildup around my heart. I'm now on anti-inflammatories for 3 months that have the potential of injuring my only kidney. And she adds, I was born with only one kidney. The media keeps saying that these cases are rare and that they typically happen in young men. But so far, she says, I know 3 other Winnipeg women who have also developed heart issues post-shot. And she notes that we are all young, under 35 years old. Well, this is all concerning, she goes on to say. The most concerning part is that we are still being advised by our doctors to get a second dose. At this point, it feels like they are purposefully trying to harm us. The second note I received comes from one of our honorable members of the Canadian Forces. And again, I received so many notes, I couldn't go over them all, but I picked a few to share today. I want to thank our members of our Canadian Forces for courageously doing their job, and for this particular member for sharing this note with me. Good morning, Mr. Sloan, he says. I am a CAF member who fundamentally believes that Canadians are being misled and taken advantage of by our government institutions. I feel it is my obligation to contribute to the betterment of our country and the safety of our citizens. As of Friday, my COC is boasting a 90% vaccination rate within the CAF. This was achieved by the following requirements. Number 1, CAF members are required to complete the DLN course before having a vaccination appointment scheduled on their behalf at a mass vaccination clinic on base with staff, other CAF members, and PHAC, Public Health Agency of Canada officials. Number 2, all members are required to attend the clinic regardless of their personal wishes to receive the vaccine or not. Upon arrival, members are seated and given a 2-page briefing document which summarizes the information in the online course. Members are then ushered one by one into cubicles and asked if they wish to receive the vaccine. A PHAC nurse is on site to answer any questions. The member is free to leave after a 15-minute period of observation. In my experience, he goes on to say, I felt that both times I went to the clinic that I was being pressured and encouraged to blindly accept the process. On my second visit, which was much more aggressive, I was directed to speak with the public health nurse who advised me that I was not authorized to obtain the vaccine from civilian sources and that the vaccine was in short supply, and that it was just like a flu shot, which would have many follow-up booster shots. I asked the nurse when the vaccine would be licensed in Canada out of interim use authorization, and was stunned when she knew nothing of the actual process. I am concerned for my fellow members, he says. I have witnessed my co-workers suffer vaccine injury in the past, and am sure that the military will cover up the true devastation caused, as it has done before with suicides. There is talk that the vaccine will be mandatory for all CAF members in November. My solemn plea to you is that this is somehow prevented. We are currently being told to be leaders and take the vaccine, and if this happens, it won't be long before all Canadians will be subject to mandatory vaccination. Thank you for your time, a scared CAF member.